The next speaker is Sean DeJeju. Is it De Jesus or DeJeju? Thank you. I have the same problem with my name, so.
Someone doesn't like me, apparently. Good afternoon. My name is Sean DeJesus. I'm here to speak about the proposed Montauk substation on behalf of the roughly 2,200 people who signed our petition of opposition to the Flamingo site. If you turn to page 2 of the materials, this is a negative declaration dated July 2008 showing the intent to purchase 66 and 68 Fairmont and 20 and 22 Fenwick in Montauk, collectively known as the Flamingo site. Turning to page 3 to provide some context of the location, this is a residential area on a primary throughway between the Montauk Village and the Montauk Harbor, highly visible to residents and visitors alike. It's adjacent to one of the hamlet's primary water wells on one side, and the other side to the Montauk Playhouse, which is a recreation center, senior center, and childcare facility. First question I would pose is, should an electrical substation be next to the most sensitive members of our community, namely children and seniors? Moving to page 5, this is a map of the building envelopes. The Town of East Hampton Planning Board prevailed in the New York State Supreme Court, limiting the development of this site to 4 single-story residential homes due to the proximity to water wells, archaeological significance, and visual prominence. It's also in close proximity to a known Native American burial ground, which, to our knowledge, has not been examined. How is a site that was limited to single-story, single-family residences now appropriate for a 60,000 square foot electrical substation? Moving to page 6, this is a topographical map of the site. The 2 flat segments are highlighted in blue. The elevation obviously is an issue with this site. We've been told that it's only preliminary, yet numerous officials have detailed plans to carve a 60,000 square foot area into the hill, supported by retaining walls. Is building an electrical substation on the side of the road into the side of a steep hill really a good idea? Moving to page 7, this is a map that shows one of Montauk's primary water recharge overlays, and as you can see, the Flamingo site is adjacent to it. For those not familiar with the water recharge overlay, it's the process where water moves downwards from surface water into groundwater. This well has been contaminated before from infrastructure that was further away. Does the board want to assume this liability? Do we want Montauk's groundwater running through an electrical substation? Moving on to page 8, this is a map of the Town of East Hampton's Community Preservation Fund list. As you can see, the properties that comprise the Flamingo site are listed on this and have been since 1998. How is a site on the preservation list being considered for an electrical substation? We would like to ask that the board exhaust all resources to find a more suitable location. The property that is already owned by the LIPA company is zoned commercial. It is next to the battery storage and is already been approved by the LIPA engineers for the next 40 years of presumed water rise. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak.
On the same topic, we have Anthony Testa next.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you. I'm together with Sean on this, and I don't want to echo his whole speech, but I strongly oppose this location for many reasons. As a Montauk resident, I feel that there's other places that could be chosen that are both better for you and for us, and we're open to speaking with you in the future to further discuss this in detail. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dan, since we're going to hear from a few speakers on this topic, did we comment earlier that a location has not been finalized yet?
We haven't purchased it yet. We have an agreement to purchase with contingency on receiving approvals.
Okay, thank you. Ken Giustino? Got it right? He's a Montauk resident.
Hi, I'm a Montauk resident, also the publisher of the Montauk newspaper, Montauk Sun. Much of the residents are not aware of this project. As I speak to many people, they're surprised. We're going to be pursuing more signatures to oppose it. And I would like you to reconsider the location, and there must be other locations that would be more suitable. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Okay, we have Tom Ciccarello. There's no Smiths or Johnsons on this list. Jones, no Jones.
No, Jones. Thank you for letting me speak. Tom Ciccarello, and I live actually right next door to this property on the east side of the water tower. My house is in the water recharge area, and all the other houses on the north side of the water tower. So if you don't believe that the water on this side, the Macho property where the substation is supposed to go, it doesn't percolate, you're crazy. But I strongly suggest that we look for a different place, maybe at the recycling center. I'm sure there's something there that can be worked out. I know it's been mentioned that it's a difficult site and you're not interested in it, but I think we really could revisit that. And I would also like to say that the Montauk residents here would like to work with LIPA and PSEG to find a more suitable place. And I do have grandchildren that go to the playhouse, to the child care center. And if there's ever an accident there, if there's ever like something that happened in Astoria where a transformer blew up, it could create a very dangerous situation. Also, I'm a member of the Montauk Fire Department, and in order to put those electrical fires out, you have to spray the water and foam mixture, which was practiced with at the East Hampton Airport, which polluted 500 wells in Wainscott, which the town just spent, I think, $8 or $9 million to run, new pipes, new water mains to these houses. And the town, ironically now, is suing, the East Hampton town is suing East Hampton Village and East Hampton Village Fire Department and Bridgehampton Fire Department because of the contamination at the airport that the town owns. So, if something happens at this site and there's contamination in our only aquifer, I think that could, create some very serious problems for LIPA and PSEG. So I would strongly ask you to reconsider. Thank you.
I want to commend you and thank you for your volunteer service too, Mr. Ciccarello. Rita Sina Mon.
Hi, I'm a resident of Montauk and object to the site location.
Thank you very much. The next one, I'm having trouble with the writing, but it looks like a Larry Penny or Perry.
Thank you for letting me speak. I used to be the Natural Resource Director and Environmental Protection Director of the Town of East Hampton for 28 years, excuse me. And I worked closely with Lilco prior to Lilco's demisal. And I wrote a letter to Catasinos. In those days, one person kind of made the decisions and told him to why don't you extend the water from Amagansett all the way out to Montauk? I did, and he did. He did that within the year, and it was pretty easy to bury it along 27. I see the map of the PSEG site plan, rating, and it shows clearly the route of the are two pipes buried underground with a pipe in the middle, a neutral pipe. And it shows it starts from the Hither Hill substation. Now, Hither Hill substation came into effect in the mid-1990s, and it is still there. And I'm not sure why you don't go to that station and consider that as a possibility, or consider the one that where the battery is to be installed now. But that the hill station is perfectly flat and right off the highway, and the cable runs from there all the way up through the park and into the area where the generating station is on the north end of Fort Pond. I think that's a perfect solution. Otherwise, I don't think it's good to go into an area where there's a Suffolk County Water Authority well, one of the few wells in Montauk that is still producing good water. And secondly, it had been polluted by a fire station retardant, a fire retardant at one time, but now it's clear again. And I don't think no one has really searched that entire area where there was a Pequot fight with the local Montaukets. And the Montaukets, several artifacts are still being found. And I would say that that's a pretty good area for finding Indian artifacts and Indian remains. So I would say that that's a very bad place to put a a new station when there is one back to the west, owned by the state, where you probably the local put it there because they pay taxes to the state, but not to the town. Pretty smart idea, I think. So I would do that rather than do what you intend to do. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.